They all thought he was just a simple delivery guy, pushing a cart and making his rounds. No one looked twice at him, assuming he was like any other worker just doing his job. But in the midst of this routine delivery, something entirely unexpected was about to happen. His quiet presence was about to be completely upended. What could possibly change the perception of this unassuming man? Just when the world had him pegged, his boss, a figure of power and authority, was about to enter the scene, and with one stunning move, everything would shift. This story isn't just about a delivery. It's about the life-altering moments when people are faced with a reality they never considered. Don't blink, because the truth is about to explode in a way they'll never see coming. In the heart of the city, life went on as usual at a small delivery company. Every morning, Andre pedaled his old bike along busy streets, a friendly smile on his face as he delivered packages to bustling neighborhoods. To everyone who saw him, he was just an ordinary delivery guy, a hard-working man who simply did his job with quiet determination. But there was something in the way his eyes shone when he greeted customers, a hint that he was more than he appeared. Inside a modest warehouse, the routine was as predictable as clockwork. Colleagues exchanged light banter, loading trucks and sorting parcels with practiced ease. Most saw Andre as just another face in the crowd, someone who blended into the background. Yet every now and then, a knowing glance or a quiet nod from a coworker hinted that there was a depth to him that no one had yet discovered. Customers from nearby offices and apartments appreciated his punctuality and kind demeanor, never suspecting that beneath his simple uniform lay a story waiting to be told. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure moved quietly through the background of it all. Mr. Collins, the boss of the delivery company. Rarely seen and even less often heard, Mr. Collins was a man whose presence was felt more than it was noticed. Whispers among the staff told tales of his legendary entrances, moments when he appeared unexpectedly and left everyone speechless. It was said that when Mr. Collins arrived, it wasn't just to check on deliveries, it was to reveal something extraordinary. Outside, the city pulsed with energy. Neon signs flickered above busy sidewalks, street vendors called out to passers-by, and the everyday hum of life played out in a dance of chaos and order. Against this vibrant backdrop, the ordinary routine of the delivery company was about to be disrupted. Andre went about his work with his usual calm, unaware that soon his true worth would be revealed. As the day unfolded, the stage was set for that stunning moment. Every detail, the careful way Andre handled each package, the soft smiles exchanged with customers, and even the subtle looks from his coworkers, hinted that he carried a secret waiting to emerge. And high above it all, Mr. Collins was preparing for his dramatic entrance, a moment that would shatter the common assumptions about who Andre really was. As the morning unfolded, Andre continued his routine deliveries, pedaling his worn bike through the busy city streets. The gentle hum of traffic and distant chatter of pedestrians filled the air, setting the scene for an ordinary day. Yet, beneath the surface of everyday life, a small conflict began to stir. It started with a simple misunderstanding. While delivering a package to a small apartment complex, Andre was met by Mr. Jenkins, the building's doorman, who barely glanced at him before grumbling, "You again?" "I don't see your name on the list." Andre paused, surprised by the tone. With his usual friendly smile, he replied, "I'm here with your package, sir. It says it's for apartment 4B. But Mr. Jenkins frowned and waved him away, insisting that he check with someone else first. A nearby resident, overhearing the exchange, muttered, "Well, he's just a delivery guy. What does he really know?" Andre's heart sank a little. He had faced these dismissive comments before, people assuming his role defined his entire worth. Inside, a mix of frustration and quiet determination churned. He knew he was more than just the uniform he wore and the packages he delivered. He had dreams and hidden talents, but in the eyes of many, he was nothing more than an everyday courier. Later that afternoon, the tension escalated further. While delivering a fresh bouquet to a local cafe, a well-dressed customer scoffed as he received his order. "You must be new here if you can't even tell me the proper address for this cafe," the customer sneered, barely looking at Andre. The remark stung, and Andre's jaw tightened, though his voice remained calm as he explained the directions clearly. But the hurt was evident in the way his eyes flashed momentarily, a silent protest against being underestimated. At the warehouse later that day, Andre's co-workers shared similar glances. They talked about how he was just the delivery guy, and that he never seemed to stand out. Some even joked that he probably never dreamed of a different life. Though their words were laced with humor, Andre felt the weight of every assumption. Each careless comment reminded him of the countless times he had to prove himself, of every moment when his potential was overlooked because of his role. As the day wore on, the busy rhythm of the workplace masked the growing inner turmoil within Andre. His mind replayed every snide remark and dismissive glance, fueling a quiet anger. But deep down, there was also hope, a belief that one day he would be seen for who he truly was. He longed for recognition, not just as a delivery man, but as someone with hidden depths and untapped potential. Then, just as he was finishing his last delivery of the day, his phone buzzed unexpectedly. A message flashed on the screen and his stomach tightened as he read it. It was from the company's head office. The message simply said, "Urgent. Mr. Collins is on his way. Please report immediately." Andre's pulse quickened. He had heard whispers about Mr. Collins, a mysterious figure whose rare appearances at the warehouse always turned heads and stirred conversation. Rumor had it that Mr. Collins made dramatic entrances and carried secrets that could upend the ordinary routine of the company. For all day, Andre had felt the subtle pressure of being judged solely by his uniform and routine tasks. Now, this message hinted at a turning point. At that very moment, as Andre stood under the glow of a street lamp, he looked back over his shoulder at the familiar warehouse where he had spent so many hours blending into the background. In that quiet instant, the small conflicts and the everyday underestimations that had burdened him seemed to converge into one powerful moment of change. The street was buzzing with the usual sounds of the evening, but for Andre, everything had suddenly shifted. The call to report immediately was not just another work order. It was the signal that his life was about to change. Questions raced through his mind. What could Mr. Collins possibly have planned? Would this be the moment he finally proved that he was so much more than just a delivery guy? As he turned the corner, determined yet uncertain about what awaited him inside the warehouse, the stage was set for a revelation that promised to alter perceptions and challenge the very assumptions that had defined his life up to that point. Andre's heart pounded as he pushed open the heavy warehouse door. Earlier, while on his delivery route, he had felt the sting of everyday underestimation, the whispered judgments, and the dismissive attitudes that had become all too familiar. Now, with the urgent message from the head office still echoing in his mind, he stepped into the dimly lit warehouse, unsure of what to expect. The air inside was thick with anticipation. Co-workers moved about in hushed tones, their eyes following him, as if they sensed something was about to change. At the far end of the warehouse, Near a row of neatly stacked boxes, a group of employees had gathered. Their chatter fell silent as the door swung open. From the back of the room, a tall figure in a sharply tailored suit emerged. It was Mr. Collins, an enigmatic figure whose rare appearances always drew attention and stirred whispers among the staff. His confident stride and piercing gaze immediately silenced the murmurs, replacing them with a palpable tension that swept across the room. Mr. Collins paused at the center of the room and surveyed the scene. His eyes landed on Andre, who stood near the door with a mix of determination and uncertainty. For a long moment, silence reigned. Then, with a voice that carried both authority and unexpected warmth, Mr. Collins spoke. "Andre, step forward." Andre's pulse quickened. Every fiber of his being told him that this was no ordinary call. He stepped forward slowly, his eyes meeting those of Mr. Collins. The room held its breath as the two men faced each other. One, seen by many as just a delivery guy, the other known only for his mysterious, rarely witnessed interventions. "You've been doing your job well," Mr. Collins began, his tone measured and calm. "But I know you're capable of so much more than delivering packages." His words hung in the air, challenging the assumptions that had long defined Andre's life. There was a spark in Mr. Collins's eyes that hinted at a deeper plan, one that would shatter the notion of Andre's simplicity once and for all. Before Andre could respond, a murmur rippled through the gathered employees. Some looked on in disbelief, others with a mix of admiration and envy. Mr. Collins continued, "For too long, you've been seen as an ordinary courier, someone to blend into the background. Today, I'm here to tell you that the real value of a person isn't in their title, but in what they bring to the table." Andre's voice trembled at first as he replied, "Sir, I've always done my best. I work hard every day, even when people don't see me for who I truly am." His words carried the weight of years of being underestimated, and in that moment, his quiet frustration began to transform into a newfound strength. Mr. Collins nodded slowly. "And that is exactly why I'm making my entrance now. I have a proposal that will change everything for you and for this entire company." His tone was both a promise and a challenge. The room buzzed with anticipation as Mr. Collins's words set the stage for a dramatic turning point. A hushed silence fell as Mr. Collins took a step closer to Andre. "I have watched you navigate the challenges that come with being undervalued. I see the potential in you that others refuse to acknowledge. Today, I'm offering you an opportunity to prove that you're more than just a delivery guy." His gaze locked with Andre's, and the intensity in his eyes left no doubt. This was a moment of transformation. Andre's heart raced. The room seemed to shrink around him as he realized that the man before him was not merely his boss, but a mentor, a visionary who believed in unlocking hidden potential. "What do you mean?" Andre asked softly, barely able to contain his mix of excitement and apprehension. Mr. Collins smiled, a slow, confident smile that radiated both pride and expectation. "I'm promoting you to lead a new project, one that will revolutionize how we handle deliveries and customer relations. You will be responsible for training others, for bringing innovative ideas into our operations, and for representing the spirit of this company in a way no one else can." His words struck a chord with everyone present. The energy in the room shifted. Colleagues exchanged glances, some with tears in their eyes, others with wide smiles of approval. The transformation in Andre was palpable. He was no longer just the quiet courier, but a man on the verge of something extraordinary. His face lit up with a mix of disbelief and determination, as he realized that his struggles had prepared him for this very moment. "Thank you, sir," Andre managed to say, his voice filled with gratitude and resolve. "I won't let you down." Mr. Collins extended his hand, and as Andre shook it, the room erupted in subdued applause. In that handshake, the past, the whispers of being just a delivery guy, fell away, replaced by the promise of a bright future. As Mr. Collins's stunning entrance and declaration echoed in the warehouse, it became clear that today was a turning point, not only for Andre but for everyone who had ever been underestimated. The scene was set for a new beginning, one where hidden talents were finally recognized and where the true value of a person could shine through. The applause had barely died down when the room grew quiet again. Just moments after Mr. Collins shook hands with Andre, a stunned murmur spread through the warehouse. In that silence, Andre slowly reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a thick folder, one that he had kept hidden all along. The folder bore the logo of a prestigious business school and several official seals that no one had ever expected to see on a delivery man's belongings. Andre cleared his throat and, with a calm confidence that belied his modest appearance, began to speak. "There's something I need to share," he said. "I know many of you see me as just the guy who delivers packages, but my story is more complicated than that." He opened the folder and revealed a set of certificates, letters of recommendation, and academic accolades. Gasps spread among his co-workers, and even Mr. Collins's confident smile wavered as he looked closer. "You see," Andre continued, "before I started working here, I earned a full scholarship to one of the top business schools in the country. I graduated with honors and was even offered a position at a major firm. I chose to work here because I believed in starting from the ground up and understanding every part of our operation." His voice was steady, and his eyes shone with quiet pride as he revealed the hidden chapters of his life. In that moment, the room transformed. The once dismissive glances turned into looks of shock and respect. Colleagues who had always overlooked him now saw the man behind the delivery uniform, a man who had fought hard to overcome the odds and who held the key to innovative ideas that could change the company. The very same people who once joked that he was just a delivery guy were now speechless, their assumptions shattered by the truth. Mr. Collins, who had made his stunning entrance earlier, now stepped forward with a look of deep admiration, mixed with a touch of regret for the way things had been before. "Andre," he said, his voice sincere, "I always suspected you had more to offer than what we saw on the surface. Today, you have proven that true talent cannot be hidden, no matter how modest the circumstances." At that, a hush fell over the room as even Mr. Collins's own eyes sparkled with pride. The revelation was not only a personal triumph for Andre, but a powerful reminder of the importance of looking beyond first impressions. His journey, marked by the struggles of being underestimated and the pain of constant judgment, had prepared him for this very moment. Every hardship had built his resilience, and now that hidden strength shone through. Some of the skeptics in the room, who had once doubted him, exchanged guilty looks. One co-worker, who had laughed off his abilities, whispered, "I can't believe I was so wrong about him." Others simply nodded, the atmosphere now filled with a renewed sense of hope and determination. Even the usually confident officers who had once looked down on him would soon hear of this revelation, and their haughty attitudes were sure to crumble in the face of such undeniable achievement. The shock was palpable, and it was clear that the hidden truth about Andre would ripple far beyond these warehouse walls. Andre closed the folder slowly and looked around at the faces that now reflected respect and awe. "I'm not here to boast," he said softly, "but to show that everyone has potential that is often hidden beneath the surface. Don't let anyone tell you that your role defines you." His words echoed in the silence, a powerful call to recognize and celebrate the depth in every person. The room burst into applause once more, this time for the man who had taken a brave step to reveal his true self. As the clapping died down, Mr. Collins stepped forward and announced, "Today marks a new chapter for our company. We will begin to recognize and nurture the talents that lie hidden in every corner. Let this be a lesson for all of us." The revelation set the stage for change. The day had taken an unexpected turn, transforming assumptions into inspiration, and proving that even the quietest among us can hold the power to change the world. After Mr. Collins's powerful announcement that a new chapter had begun, the warehouse buzzed with a fresh energy. The once dismissive stares had been replaced by nods of approval and murmurs of excitement. Colleagues who had never given Andre a second thought now looked at him with admiration. His hidden potential, now revealed, had turned the day on its head. In the days that followed, the atmosphere at the company began to change. Mr. Collins immediately set up a series of meetings with all the staff. During these sessions, he spoke about the importance of recognizing talent wherever it might be found. "Every person has hidden depths," he said, "and it is our duty to nurture those talents rather than ignore them." His words resonated deeply, sparking conversations among employees about their own dreams and the untapped abilities they had long kept hidden. Andre, once just seen as the delivery guy, found himself at the center of these discussions. His work was no longer viewed as ordinary. Instead, it was seen as the foundation of the company's future. He was invited to share his story during company-wide meetings, and soon he became an inspiration for his colleagues. People began to understand that his quiet determination and friendly smile were just the surface of a man with big ideas and a deep commitment to excellence. Within a week, Mr. Collins announced a new initiative aimed at developing the skills of every employee. Andre was chosen to lead a small team tasked with improving delivery operations and customer relations. This was not only a recognition of his talents, but also a clear message to everyone. No one should be underestimated because of their job title. The decision was met with applause and enthusiastic support, and even those who had once doubted him now offered their congratulations. Outside the warehouse, the news spread quickly through the community. Local customers, who had once simply appreciated Andre's timely deliveries, began to see him in a new light. In casual conversations at nearby cafes and on social media, people marveled at his transformation from an unassuming courier to a rising leader. One regular customer remarked, "I always thought he was just a delivery guy, but now I know he's someone with real vision." It makes you think about all the hidden talents we miss every day. As the initiative took hold, the company saw many positive changes. Meetings became more open, and ideas that had long been suppressed began to surface. The once stifling environment gave way to a spirit of collaboration and innovation. Andre's team introduced new delivery methods and customer service strategies that not only improved efficiency, but also boosted morale among the staff. The company's profits began to rise, and a sense of pride spread throughout the office. On a quiet afternoon, a few weeks later, Andre sat in his small office, reflecting on the journey that had brought him from being overlooked to being celebrated. He thought of all the moments when people had judged him solely by his uniform and his role. Each of those moments had been painful, but they had also fueled his determination to prove that true worth goes far beyond appearances. He realized that every challenge he had faced was a stepping stone that led him to this new opportunity, a chance to change not just his own life, but also the lives of those around him. In a heartfelt conversation with Mr. Collins, Andre shared, I used to think that my job defined me, that I was meant only to deliver packages. But now I see that every person has something valuable to offer. I want to help others find their hidden potential too." Mr. Collins smiled warmly. "That is exactly the spirit we need," he said. "We all have gifts waiting to be discovered, and it is our responsibility to lift each other up." This story, marked by the transformation of one man's life and the company's culture, serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of underestimating others. It shows that talent often lies hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to shine. When we take the time to look beyond appearances, we not only help individuals grow, but we also create a more inclusive and innovative community. The impact of that day rippled far beyond the warehouse walls. Soon, other companies in the area began to rethink their hiring practices and employee evaluations. The idea that every role has hidden potential sparked a larger movement toward fairness and recognition in the workplace. Community leaders cited Andre's story as a turning point, a moment when people began to understand that judging someone by their job or their appearance was a mistake that cost everyone. As the company continued to grow and evolve, Andre's journey remained a source of inspiration. Every time he led a meeting or introduced a new idea, he reminded everyone that true success comes from hard work, resilience, and the courage to be yourself. His story became a beacon for those who had ever felt underestimated or overlooked, proving that with determination and support, anyone can rise above their circumstances. And so, as the city lights twinkled in the evening and the office settled into a new rhythm of hope and progress, the message was clear. Every person has hidden depths worth exploring, and when we embrace that truth, we all benefit. It's a lesson that will continue to inspire long after this day is over, a lasting reminder that change starts with seeing the potential in everyone. As the evening deepened and the city lights began to twinkle, the story of that unforgettable day lingered in every heart at the warehouse. The air, once thick with tension, now carried a promise of change. Andre's transformation from a simple delivery guy into a celebrated leader had sparked new hope among his colleagues and the community. His journey reminded everyone that every person carries hidden potential waiting to be discovered, and that true success comes from recognizing and nurturing that inner strength. Have you ever underestimated someone only to be proven wrong later? What hidden talents do you think might be right under your nose? These are questions that challenge us to look beyond first impressions and to value every individual for who they truly are. If this story inspired you or made you think about the power of hidden potential, please share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your experiences and opinions on breaking free from assumptions. And if you believe in celebrating the unseen talents in every person, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting stories that reveal the truth behind everyday lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey of transformation and hope. Together, we can build a community that recognizes and nurtures the hidden strengths in everyone, proving that change truly starts when we begin to see each other for who we really are.